Hi everyone, it is Aris Mashuk and I'm back with Reaching Purpose Part 3. I hope you enjoyed Reaching Purpose Part 2 and you found it fruitful, because now I want to look at a few aspects that a lot of people are struggling to understand. And I think the most common one is, how do you know that you are living in purpose? Guys, I'm going to put this in a way that everyone is going to understand. You know, when God created everyone, he knew what he was doing. When God created everyone, he knew their strength, their weaknesses, and everything that you can think of when it comes to building an individual. He's basically the manufacturer of your life. I hope you understand that concept. He's the manufacturer of your life. So how do you know that you are living in purpose? Is when you don't need a break from the life that you are living. If you constantly are exhausted emotionally, spiritually, and mentally and physically from the life that you are living, you must understand that you are living the wrong life. And people say, no, but it's a norm to be tired. It's not a norm to be tired. If you're created to do something, a specific function, which is what everyone has been created to do, a specific function, then you will never get tired of that, because that is what you were created to do. If you do anything outside of that specific function, you will get tired. It will exhaust you. Your life will be miserable because you are doing something you were not created to do. Unfortunately, that's the truth. But another thing that also gets people asking themselves if they are living in purpose is them doing something and them enjoying it, but after some time, now that fulfillment goes away. They don't enjoy it anymore. It's because what you are doing, you were not meant to be doing that. Because if you look at it, the very same thing that is not hard fulfilling to you, is hard fulfilling to someone else. And you ask yourself, but it looks nice on them, so what happens when I try it? You are trying something that you are not supposed to be trying. In simple terms, it's not hard fulfilling for you because it's not supposed to be done by you. You are not supposed to be there. That's why it gets boring after some time. And this goes to now every form of relation, whether it is chasing purpose, whether it is in relationships, whether it is in anything in your life. If it's not hard fulfilling for you and you're getting tired of it, that means it's not for you. Find your real purpose. And now that boils down to my next question. People ask me, but how do you find that? Guys, like I said from the beginning, you only have one manufacturer. And that one manufacturer knows what your purpose is, what you're supposed to be doing, like emhlabeni. So only he can answer that for you, which is God. You people want this thing, but you are aiming at the wrong thing. Or you are trying to find it in the wrong areas. You are trying to find it in the wrong people. Only God created you. Only he knows your purpose. Only he can use you to fulfill your purpose. Only he can take you to purpose. So stop looking for answers in people. Stop looking for answers in what feels right for you. You know, there's this feeling inside of you when you do something. That feeling might not even be the feeling of purpose or the feeling that you are supposed to be getting when you fulfill purpose. Do you understand? Now, I can give you a practical example about my life. And if most of you that know me will also understand this. I was a fully committed person to playing football. You know, I was a soccer player. I loved it with all my heart. It felt right doing that. And at some point in my life, I was like, I was not created for anything else, but this is what I was created for. Because inside of me, there was this burning desire and this burning fulfillment that, no, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. 24/7, 365. Do you understand? Until it got to a point where I started looking for my purpose. And now, for me to even get to that point, excuse my pain, guys, but for me to get to that point, there's a whole huge story behind it, which I'm going to share in one of my videos one day, and I'm hoping that most of you will watch that. But I'm going to share it one day. But at the end of the day, after I've realized that football was not what I was supposed to be doing from the get-go, ever since then, I've found more joy and more fulfillment in the life that I'm living. It may feel right in the beginning, but it doesn't mean that it's your purpose. It doesn't mean that it is taking you to where God wants you to be. Because I can tell you now, football did not take me where I was supposed to be. As right as it felt, it did not take me where I wanted to be, or where I was supposed to be, or where God wanted me to be. So these are the little things that we should be concentrating on. That no, it may feel right, yes, but is it right because it is purpose, or is it right because the flesh says it's right? Because I feel like everyone has this. We all set out our lives in our minds and feel like, no, I want this and that, I want this and that, I want this and that. But is that aligned with what God wants for you now? That's the biggest question you should be asking yourself. We all plan our lives. I don't know anyone that hasn't planned their lives before in their heads. And feel like, no, by the age 25, I should be married. At the age 26, I'll get my first car. At the age of 30, I'll be a manager, goopy, at one of the biggest companies. We all plan our lives. But is what we're planning aligned with what God has planned for us? That's why I always encourage people to, when they make plans, they must make plans with God. Don't make plans alone, because what you are planning may not be what God has planned for you. And at the end of the day, God's will always prevails. No matter what you do, you can run away from whatever purpose that you were supposed to be doing. You can run away forever. But that means you've been miserable forever. You'll find temporary fulfillment. Whereas in your purpose, you'll find everlasting fulfillment. Guys, I can promise you now, God's promise was never to give us a miserable life. We have miserable lives because we are living lives that are not supposed to be lived by us. God's promise was to prosper us and give us a better life, a good life, a life that we don't need a break from. But because we choose to live lives that we want for ourselves, not the life that God wants for you, or the life that God knows that you need, not want, but need, we always find ourselves living lives that are not heart-fulfilling, but are temporarily heart-fulfilling. So guys, I want to encourage each and every single one of you to go back to the drawing board and ask God to draw the board for you. Because I understand and I know that God will never lead you astray. Whether it being in work, it being in marriage, it being in relationships, it being in any form of, I don't care what you call it, but go back to the drawing board and ask God to draw the board for you and allow Him to lead and see how your life changes. It is your boy RS, and I'm out.